Welcome to another episode of Let's Script It. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through how to script through a conversation with a teacher and how to boost her self-esteem and her confidence. So, did you know that 85% of Americans suffer from low self-esteem? And the number is increasingly higher with women. So as a school leader who works primarily with women in early childhood, this can really manifest itself in so many ways. There are so many teachers that are struggling with guilt, shame, doubt, uncomfortability, just imposter syndrome. They are crippled with fear and doubt of, am I good enough? Am I doing the right thing? Am I worthy to even be here? Hi, I'm Hani Wolshansky, mama of four and creator of the School of Excellence system. And I'm on a mission to help early childhood leaders build and sustain schools of excellence. So if you want to create a collaborative culture, build efficient systems in your school, and design an environment that can grow your team, then you're in the right place. In the last 15 years that I've been working in the early childhood field, I've become deeply passionate of helping leaders with their mindset, their skills, the tools, and the strategies to build their schools. So each week, I'll share strategies, advice, coaching, and inspiring interviews. I know that you want to create a ripple effect in your school and your life. So let's do this together. The good news is, as a school leader, you have the power within you to actually help this teacher see herself in a different way. You see, most people that are struggling with low self-esteem or confidence is because they see themselves in a negative light. And as their mentor and their coach, you can help them see themselves in a completely different light. Now, is it easy? Absolutely not. Nothing in life that is worth it is easy. I will say that again. Nothing in life that is worth it is easy. So if we want to have confident teachers who are ready to do bold things and take on daring initiatives, they need the confidence in themselves that they can take on these challenges. So how do we help someone see themselves in a different way? Well, the first thing we have to realize is that one of the reasons why we see ourselves in that way is because we've fallen out of touch of who we are and what we actually love. And so one of the first steps in helping a teacher boost their self-esteem and their confidence is helping them get back in touch with who they are as a person. So I want to show you over here, I created something called the School of Excellence Scripts. Now, this is an amazing workbook that we created that has over 40 different scripts. And last year, we actually gave this out at the Summit of Excellence in New York City, which is our annual event for early childhood owners and directors. And this year, we'll be having that as well at the Summit of Excellence if you join us. Today, I want to show you one of the scripts that we have in this workbook on how to help boost a teacher's confidence. So in our scripts workbook, it's divided by the 3 pillars to build a school of excellence: your DOPs, your daily operating principles, your LOPs, your leadership operating principles, and your SOPs, your standard operating principles. So if we flip to the section of leadership operating principles, which is all about the relationship that you have with the teacher as one of those pillars, we can turn over here to see how to invite a teacher to take a confidence challenge. So let's go into this. Like, how do we actually invite a teacher to take a confidence challenge? So one of the first steps in helping a teacher become more confident is having her get back in touch with herself, right? And the first step in that is actually doing like a self-care challenge. So what is a self-care challenge? Well, the reason that I call it a challenge is because that's exactly what it is. For so many people, taking care of themselves and doing something that they love is a challenge. It's scary. It's something that they've never done before, or they haven't done in years or even decades. So it's a challenge for them to get back in touch with themselves. So let's script through that conversation right now. So how do we start off the conversation? Well, I'm actually going to use the script that I created right over here to walk you through that. So let's say you bring the teacher into your office. You notice that, morale is down with her. She's really struggling with her self-esteem. She's not really taking on new challenges. She's kind of just like going through the day, complacent. Maybe she's complaining a little bit, getting a little snarky or snipey at some other people. That's usually an indicator that it's time for her to take on the self-care challenge. So here's how you would start the conversation. Hey, Amy, I know there's a lot going on in your life right now, and I can only imagine how hard things must be. I want to emphasize again that I'm so grateful that you shared with me how hard things are, and I want you to know that your story is always safe in the vault. Now, I want to unpack this first part of the conversation because we want to be able to validate to the teacher that we take their trust as sacred. And the fact that she shared with you that she's going through a hard time right now should be something that you validate and tell her, thank you. Thank you for sharing your story with me. Now, the other thing that I shared here is when the director said, I want you to know that your stories are always safe in the vault. And what I mean by the vault is when a teacher shares something with you, she needs to know in 1,000% confidence, you are not going to use that information as power or leverage over her, over anyone else, okay? Because here's the thing in leadership. Leadership is powerful. Knowledge is power, and teachers need to know that you will never abuse that power, that when they share something with you in confidence, you will not leak that to anyone. They need to know that. I always say, when you have to tell someone, by the way, please don't tell this to anyone else, there's zero trust in that relationship. I never have to tell my spouse, by the way, don't tell this to anyone else. It's a given. It's a given. So if it's not a given, that means that the trust level isn't where it needs to be yet. And if you hear your staff or yourself saying that a lot in conversation, oh, by the way, don't tell that to anyone else, that's an indication that your culture isn't this strong, safe place yet. It's okay. It's just an indicator that we need to create a little bit more protection, that people feel safer to share openly. Okay, let's go back to the script. So we validated the teacher. Let's go to what's next. So you start telling her, when we're at a stage or phase in our life, like the one that you're going through, it's easy to get sucked into the rabbit hole of not taking care of yourself because you're so busy taking care of everyone else. You feel out of control sometimes and just wish everything would just stop so you can breathe. But I want to support you as you go through this because I know that this is going to pass. I don't know when, but I promise you I will have your back as you ride this wave. So what you're doing here is you're letting her know, I see you. I see that you're going through a hard time. I see you that you're riding a really difficult time in your life. And I also know it's going to pass. And until it does, I got your back. Just those 2 sentences that you started with already put such a sense of calmness in the teacher. Okay, it's going to be okay. And just that deep breath. So let's move on to the next piece. I was thinking, and I want to support you through this process, right? I was thinking, I know that you love the beach, right? And you love getting comfortable on the sand with a great book. And I know that at the moment, going to the beach with a book sounds like a luxury that you can just not afford yourself. But here's what I want to invite you to do. I want to invite you to do a 3-week challenge where once a week, I want you to come an hour late to work, or I want you to leave work an hour earlier and take the time to go to the beach by yourself. And I've got you covered. Now, let's unpack this here for a minute, okay? So let's say you tell the teacher that for her self-care challenge, you want her to go to the beach once a week for 60 minutes. Now, it sounds like you're giving her an actual prescription. The only reason I'm writing this here is because as the director, let's say you know this for real, that this is what she loves to do. And the only way you're going to know this is by having real one-on-one meetings with your teachers, by knowing the teacher's language of appreciation. Again, gratitude matrix video. By understanding your staff and having relationships with them, you will know what they love. So let's say in the case of this teacher, you know she loves the beach and she loves to read. Well, inviting her to take on this challenge, helping her get back in touch with herself about stuff that she really loves. Now, I know that some of you are watching this and you're thinking, I am short-staffed like every single day, honey. Like, you want me to get coverage for her to go like hang out in the beach for an hour? I can't do that. Here's what I want to challenge you on. When a teacher is so overwhelmed and isn't feeling good about herself and isn't confident, guess what's going to start happening? She's going to start calling out. She's going to start getting headaches. She's going to start getting sick. And before you know it, she's going to say, I quit. And then you're going to start scrambling and trying to find coverage for that teacher. Whereas if we invest a little bit of time and help this teacher get back in touch with herself so she's less overwhelmed and less stressed out, she will stay with you. Okay? So let's finish this script here, okay? So I'm going to find the coverage for you and you will be paid for this hour as a normal working hour, right? So you tell her, I got your back. These 60 minutes, I'm going to pay for you. And here's what I want in return. In return, I'm asking that you truly commit to doing this or choose something else if you're liking. Whatever it is, I want you to commit because the goal is for you to take these 60 minutes once a week for yourself. Because right now, the path that you're going on, you're headed straight for burnout. And I care about you. And I don't want you to be burnt out. Then you continue the conversation. Right now, I know your confidence is taking a hit. You feel like you're trying so hard everywhere. And through no fault of your own, you keep on coming up short. Because so much that's going on in your life right now is completely out of your control. So let's get something back in control. Something that you could control, and that is your self-care. And then you simply ask her one final question. Do you accept the challenge? Do you accept this challenge? Now, most teachers are not going to say no. They're going to say, yes, absolutely, I accept this challenge. Your responsibility is going to be actually to find the coverage and help her take action on it. Now, I know some of you are watching this or listening and thinking, gosh, like, am I going to do this for all my teachers? Like, is this what everybody needs? No, not everyone needs a confidence challenge. Not everyone needs a self-care challenge. But there are certain teachers that are in your roster that if you just take a little bit of time to remind them to get back in touch with themselves, with their hobbies, with their interests, they will show up 100 times better for you. Not like 5%, like 100% times better because they're rejuvenated, they're re-sparked, they're re-motivated, they're re-excited, and it's coming internally. You're not giving them motivation externally. You're showing them you have it inside of you. You just have to re-tap into that and activate it. And lastly, one final piece is, I know that some of you are watching this and thinking, gosh, it'd be so great if I can find coverage and actually do this. And here's the mindset that I want you to approach this challenge from. I want you to approach it from a place of not, how am I ever going to find coverage and how am I ever going to do this? But more coming from a place of, my teachers need this and I need to be here for my staff. And we're going to find a solution. If we come from that perspective, you will find 1,000 ways to figure out how to find coverage. But if we only come from the place of, I can't do this, I'm so short-staffed, guess what? You're not going to be able to figure out anything. So for today's Ripple Effect Challenge, I want you to download the PDF below, which is actually this script on how to invite a teacher to take a confidence challenge. Once you download the script, I want you to open your teacher roster and choose one teacher that you know can really use this confidence challenge. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe using the bell so that you get notifications when we release videos twice a week.